And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factory Town. Okay, I want to try to beef up production of our cloaks here. See if we can't beef up production of a lot of other things as well. Maybe, well, see if we can't. Well, the pasture, that might be tough. We've got another one here producing leather. So what I think I might do is we're going to take the grabber out. I'm going to clear some of this stuff. I'm going to put a barn right here as a stopgap measure. Because one thing we can do is I'm going to take another grabber. I'm going to pause it really quick. I'm going to put a grabber there. This grabber is going to be, I should only be able to pull animal feed out, but I don't want it to empty the animal feed with this thing, you know, pending. So this I want to keep going, but it's a lot slower of a production because it's just making books, and we've got the research thing here. And before I forget, I'm on a new version, and the rechargers now take yellow coins. He always intended it to be a coin charge, but he got that implemented. Okay, so here we go. We want to build logistics blocks, compute blocks first. We're gonna have an inventory sensor. Let's put this right here. And we're going to have, which one was it? Math block. Trigger signal and set value. No. I did this in a test world. Bool function. Okay, yeah. We're going to need a math block here. Okay. Inventory sensor. We're going to want to offset you to here, and we want to filter, we want to detect, not flour, where's my animal feed? There it is. So we're checking animal feed. This, we want to be greater than or equal, and we want this to be 5. Okay, and we're gonna add a logic link to that. So you right click, add that logic link, and now this is saying greater than 5. And we're gonna then add a logic link to the grabber, which should enable it when it's active. So let's see what happens. If it runs dry. So let's take this, build ourselves a barn, and then we're going to take animal feed. Actually, no. It is cloth conveyor belts. We're going to pause it again. We're going to grabber. We're going to filter on leather. We don't need the fertilizer output. We just need the leather. So let's see if we can't. Let's add that logic link over to here. There it goes. So I had to do a two-way logic link there. So if this thing is ever over 5, it should pop out an animal feed out here. Now this is taking its sweet time. It's got plenty of production. Can't add more workers to it. But with this, this is basically giving a Boolean if the animal feed is greater than 5. And it's not, because we're feeding a barn now. Okay, so let's put a grabber back in here for leather. And it should back up, and it should back up into here. Okay. Now we have more animal feed there, but this one... There are people who say, you know, you don't... When you have this many plots, you really don't need to fertilize or water. So let's put that to the test, right? I want to put in a bunch more of these. And I'll let them cycle through. We're not in any major hurry. Let's manually apply some fertilizer. That might speed things up a little bit. And then once they're all fertilized, I'm going to take off the water and fertilize option. And there we go. So now we can actually specify, I don't want to apply water and I don't want to apply fertilizer. I just want this thing to pump out grain as fast as possible. How are we doing here? Doing pretty good. We're going to then plant some grain. Lots of grain. And this one, can I sneak back here? So you can see they're all they're not being watered. So once the fertilizer runs dry in all of these, okay, this one is watering this section over here. So that's okay. One thing you could do, I just had a thought. If you really wanted to, you know, putting a thing of water right there is fine and dandy. But if you really wanted to keep all of that watered, you could do, you know, the central farm in the middle, and that's pulling out your goods. Then you could put a farm on this side, and this side that share the 4 that we have here, and those can just be water and fertilize. Now, granted, it's, you know, 3 times as many buildings, but, you know, it would work. I have never seen any evidence where water and fertilizer, like, gives you more yield. It just makes it grow faster. And when you have so many plots going, I'm not sure if that's really necessary. So why is this one? So this one is kind of doing the same thing. Let's build. Let's get these filled in. We're gonna apply fertilizer. We can apply fertilizer manually. I mean, that's nothing. You can also water manually if we really wanted to give a small boost. Just to try to get this production more thorough. Same with these guys here. Now, what do we do with all this fertilizer? Well, I don't know. Like, you can use it as fuel if you really, really wanted to. It would be kind of funny if we... Where do we use a lot of fuel at? So fertilizer gives you 1 fuel. So it takes 4 fertilizer to equal the fuel value of coal. But we're producing it so fast, I really don't see a need to beef that up at all. All right, this guy, let's take him, apply water, apply fertilizer, take him off. This guy as well. So yeah, he is really, really pushing a lot of material. So we're going to apply water and apply fertilizer off there as well. Let's beef you up. Max you on workers. Max you on workers. You're maxed on workers already. You don't have a surplus. Leather's doing okay. One thing I might look to do is get leather, supplement leather somehow, or try to get our happiness up to the point where we can do a lot of good. Hey, look at that. I was just gonna look at this. Elemental refinery. So now we can get into the other types of magic crystals. So here's an earth temple over here. We have some earth stone, thank goodness, over here. Look at all these herbs. I might want to put like a farm on these. It might be a nice idea, putting a farm to try to encompass as much of that as possible. Because there are salves and stuff that we could be selling, apothecary. So, medical wraps, those are all good. Our blue coins are kind of hurting right now. What are we selling that do we get blue coins at? Why is our meat stew doing so poorly? It's all due to meat. So this, another instance where we can stop the fertilizer. Keep that as fast as possible. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now these we're not really using in huge numbers. Not yet anyway. So these kitchens, I could actually use these as a sink for fertilizer. Since I've got fertilizer right here, I could probably manage to do that. Let's get this guy, you and you, not really needed. Let's try this. Now, somebody did say that I could. Let's try this out here. I'm gonna hold control. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Automatic. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you very much for that tip. I want a splitter on this. Not that we're gonna use fertilizer anywhere in here anymore, but want to keep these rolling. There we go. So one thing we can do about all the surplus fertilizer that we've built up after all this time. I don't think it does anything for the pastures to be empty of fertilizer, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice that it's empty. How are we doing here? Well, it's coming in ever so slowly. We might want to automate the delivery of veggie stews. I would like to try to get meat stews more in line with what we're doing here. Not really maxing this out. Oh, wow. Okay. Wool has backed up. Apparently, we need to start selling the magic cloaks again. How are our actual cloaks? I would really like to beef this up. Let's sell what we have here. Sell here. Okay. You stop running. Clear you out. So, 1, 2, 3. Run that. Hold control. Oh, beautiful. The little quality of life features are just substantial. I love it when the game developer is like, you know, let's make it a pleasure to play this game. I'm used to a different game's control scheme, so it's just taking me a minute to try to figure this out. Okay. Paper, so far so good. Books, this we're gonna repurpose. There are other types of books that we could do. Looks like our farm is, I mean, we got little plots growing here and there, which is what I expected. How are these going? We got a surplus on leather, which is good. And wool is building up. So let's sell some of these. You to here. Now, I would like to see if we can't automate some things, like the delivery of goods. First, we're going to need faster conveyors. We really, really are. Is there a way? We have mana pipes, that's fine. Is there a way that we could sneak in here and add a little conveyor? I really don't want to move these conveyors all the way across the map. So basically this is obviously cloth, wooden wheels, and stone bricks. Well, stone bricks we actually have coming from over here. A lot of these are getting depleted though. We might want to be careful. Like build, farm, place stone. Two, three, four. I think right back in here. We have so much stone in our main fort there. The stone that we place here isn't really, I mean, there's not much to it. What you really get a lot of is once we research Earth, we can start infusing and replenishing the resources that we're digging. So all these like areas, stone and iron, all these can be redone, which is nice. We have a bunch more houses too that we can work with. We're making more there. We're still short on leather. It's crazy how much leather. I've got this thing so upgraded. Oh, we were actually having a surplus of animal feed. How is that possible? The other thing we could do with all this fertilizer we have plenty of coal around here. So I am one other thing we could do is build pipes steam connector. We could hook our pastures and our factories up to steam. We would need a power source and then a fuel source. But let's get these guys going again. I could use a harvester. Like, oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Harvester drill. I could use one of these guys, but we don't use fuel in such vast amounts. So, if we want a steam where is it? Steam generator. I don't think it has any output, but something like that. And then we want something like that. Oh, it needs water too. Terrain flatten up. Oh. Why can't I? Did he fix the issue that can I not do that anymore? This tool works differently than it was before. Weird. Should have water though. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's do build pipes steam connector. Anybody else? We really need steam connector. No! Oh! You and you can all go. Steam pipe, that's what I want. There. A little bit of extra boost. So you should have power now. You do indeed. Looks like this guy is starting to feed again. He was full. The barn, that barn filled up fast. Ooh, look at all the leather we got going here, because we now have power in here. That's another 50. Look at that, 500% speed. That's not bad. But we are quickly running out of blue coins. So we need to sell these cloaks. How can we get a little bit of extra leather? We could try to get some from this barn over here. That would be kind of a nightmare of pathing, though. That would be a lot. It would be easier. Ooh, that needs earth. Okay. So, the other researches that we have available to us all require the different materials. So, we're going to try to get some earth. And he made remove resources cheaper, which is nice. We don't need any of this grain over here. We really don't need any of these tomatoes. I'm trying not to hit that shrine. I do not know what happens. Like, I don't know if you can get rid of those, but I'd rather not test that theory. So this thing requires earth ether, and that's what we did that last research for. We need mana crystals and earth ether. Well, mana crystals we happen to have in vast quantities, which is glorious. So yeah, we can start working. Ooh, look at all the depleted coal over here. Yikes, that's scary. All right, so we need to start working on earth. That's going to have to wait until next time. So I thank everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.